Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for today's live presentation. I am going to be doing Reiki for 5 minutes. After that, hopefully we'll have a few more people in the room. And I want to do some prayer for those people in the Ukraine and for the leaders around the world trying to figure out how to best handle this situation. Situation, small word for a big thing, isn't it? All right, so let's go ahead and get Reiki started. Reiki is going to be starting at 1 after the hour. All right, so Reiki's going to be actually finishing up at 6 minutes after the hour. And then after we finish up Reiki, we're going to do some prayer for the Ukraine people and for the leaders around the world. And then after that, we're going to do some tarot readings for people in the room who have questions or mentoring, whatever is more appropriate for each person. Meanwhile, the Reiki is for whatever is for your highest and best good for each of you as individuals. And Reiki can help with all kinds of good things. Can help with medical health, can help with mental and emotional health, anxiety, depression, can help with financial situations, can help with relationship situations. So whatever is for your highest and best good, that's what I'm asking the Reiki to help you guys with today. And that applies to everybody who's watching this video as I'm broadcasting and watching while I'm live as well. While I'm broadcasting and while I'm live. And who watch later is what I meant to say. Gotta watch me. Don't know what's going to come out of my mouth next. Let's see. Those poor people in Ukraine, though. I can't stop thinking about them. I've been thinking about them all day. Cosmo, hello, hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. How are you? I am safe and sound and feeling very grateful about that. How are you? Well, right now we're still doing Reiki. And then after Reiki, we're going to pray for the people of Ukraine and for that whole situation. And then after that, we're going to get around to questions. Hello there, Ms. Ann. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the thumbs up, too. I'm assuming that was you. We've got 3 more minutes of Reiki, and then we will move into prayers for the whole Ukraine situation, and then after that, we'll do our normal tarot stuff. Shakoya, hello, hello, welcome. I could not put the name of the country up in the YouTube thing because YouTube would not let me broadcast with that in the title. So you guys know who we're going to pray for. 2 more minutes on Reiki first, though. AP, welcome. Glad you're here. We're doing 2 more minutes of Reiki, then we're going to pray over that whole situation going on in the world. And then we'll do some tarot reading and more normal-ish stuff. Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd. I've been watching news with that country's name in the headline on YouTube all day. And maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I put in the title and everything and got ready to go live, and it said, something went wrong, try again. And I had to start all over. I was like, okay, let's see if leaving this one little word out will change anything. Sure enough. 1 more minute of Reiki. where 2 or 3 are bound together in a prayer, then that prayer is much more powerful than one by themselves. So I was trying to think, what could I do to help those people? Not in the military anymore. Even if we would send money, who knows if they would get it or if it would be intercepted. And then even if they had it, who knows what they could buy with it as far as supplies, because who knows what their supply chain is like. And I'm really frustrated that all we're doing is slow walking some sanctions. So I thought, well, I'm a mystic. What am I good at? I'm good at praying. We're going to do some praying. That's what we can do to help these people. All right, let's see. Let's wrap up the Reiki. Okay, guys. Y'all do me a favor and join your hearts with mine in these prayers so that we can have some stronger prayers to be more helpful for these people over there in the Ukraine. It would be greatly appreciated. Dear Heavenly Father, I know you see exactly what all's going on, and you see all the many intricate layers of why things are coming out the way they're coming out. And I ask you to be with every single person that is in the Ukraine and help them to be strong and to be courageous and help them to have peace of mind as they're facing this. Help them to stay not panicked but calm in their right minds so that they can do the things that are best for themselves and their families to make it through this in a good way. Thank you especially for being with our president as he figures out what on earth he has to do to keep his people safe. Also, thank you for being with all of our world leaders, not only for the U.S., but all around the world. Thank you for giving them wisdom and discernment. Thank you for giving them advisors who have good wisdom and discernment. And thank you for helping them find a way to untangle this mess and make it into something that works out in a positive way and resolves peacefully for everybody involved. Thank you for helping each of our countries to have the integrity that we are supposed to have, to keep the agreements that we have made with others in the past, and to live up to our word in the present. Amen. Yeah, I saw some stuff on Twitter from some people taking in people in Poland taking in people from Ukraine. Saw this one tweet about how somebody's basement was filling up with people and they were bringing, their families with them. And they were talking about how all the little kids had, of all things, coloring books. Like, what a thing to notice. We grow up thinking that our world is generally safe. I can only imagine what kind of stress those little kids are under, thinking what their world is like right now. Yep, the first strikes were right before dawn. Over there, they're 7 hours ahead of us here on Mountain Time. So 5 hours ahead of you, Ann. And I was up like all night just watching the coverage of it because I hadn't gone to bed whenever it started. I didn't go to bed till like almost 6. And it's so frustrating because NATO and the US and all the big countries are just oh, well, we're going to impose sanctions, but we're not going to actually do anything to help those people over there. They're not helping anybody on the ground with anything. I haven't heard anything about humanitarian aid drops. I haven't heard anything about helping them to fight. I haven't heard anything about any kind of direct help for these poor people. And Ukraine used to be, they used to have a pretty extensive nuclear arsenal. They inherited it at the end of whenever they broke off from Russia before the Soviet Union. And they agreed to let that go back to Russia in 94 with the understanding that if they ever needed backup, that the world would be there to back them up. Look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. I don't know why they're waiting. I know that they want to be really careful that Putin doesn't put his finger on the trigger for nukes. But other than that, basically what we've got going on here is we have a big old bully picking on the next door neighbor because he thinks his lunchbox is cooler than his. And we're all standing around watching and eating popcorn, basically, is what it boils down to. Yeah, I saw that. Hello, Nikki. I'm really kind of angry. I'm not very proud of our country that we're just letting this happen. Like what I would want to do is I would want to go bomb a couple of cities over in Russia and say, if you don't cut your shit, get ready for more. But then I don't think that would be too popular either. Good way to really kick off World War III. I think people are still trying to not kick off World War III. All right, let's see. Let's do messages from Spirit for people in the room. Who all wants a message from Spirit? I know Nikki does. I just feel like as a country, we're creating some really bad karma. After we told these people we would have their backs if they would give up their nukes in 94, now we're just letting them frickin' swing in the wind. This is not good on our country at all. Diane, hello. Would you like a message from Spirit? And you're going to be number 2. Diane, I'm going to put you in as the 3rd one. How many people do we have in the room? We have 2 more people. Who else is in here that still wants a message from Spirit? Oh, yeah, that's right. I kind of forgot that you're in Canada for a second there. I saw a video of the president of Ukraine telling people that they have weapons. Come pick up weapons if they know how to use them to defend themselves and their families. Isn't that a sad state of affairs? Can you imagine? Too nice to who? Who are we too nice to? Okay, Nikki, you're up first. Blah, blah, blah. Message from Spirit. I want to kind of work on my energy a little bit, actually, before I look at the cards. I was just thinking, probably should clear my energy first. Okay, let's see what we get here. You have a specific one today? Hello there, Sharon. I would like to do more, but this is the only thing I know how to do. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. I am really pissed off that we're not doing more as a country. I'm ex-military, and I am not very proud of this country, that's a bad thing to have to say. It's a bad thing to have to say about a country that you put your life on the line for. Angela Lukes, hello. Nikki, I didn't even put down the right cards. Hang on. Let's try that again. I forgot about your question. Nikki wants to know, will she score 30 plus on her exam? 30 or more on her exam given. Wait, you've already had it. You asked me if you were going to pass this, didn't you? I think you already asked me if you were going to pass this. We're not going to do a repeat question. You need a different question, Miss Nikki. And message from Spirit for you, my dear. You're up next. Shakoya did check in. I didn't see that. Okay. I just now did. Okay, Shakoya, you're down for 4th. You've already got your answer. You got to come up with a different question. Spirit knew what was going to happen with the cutoff. Angela, let me put you on the list. Okay, message from Spirit for Nikki. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have picked up those cards now. Okay, so then we don't, okay. So what you really want to know about is a job, right? Will Nikki be able to get a job in the field that she tested in on the 12th of February? Will she be able to get a job in that field, and will she be working that job by the end of March of this year? I think you're going to have some kind of temporary position or a probationary position by the end of the 2nd week of March. So some type of probationary type, let's see how you work out, but we'll pay you while you're here type of thing. I think it's going to be a struggle for you once you have that position. It feels to me like there's just going to be a whole lot to remember and a whole lot to keep straight. Look at how this guy's holding his head. And the crow's talking to him. The crow's giving him more and more information, and he's already got a headache. So I think it might be a little bit overwhelming. And then by the time you get to the end of March, I see the Four of Swords. There's something going on where you're basically taking some type of break from that. Okay, so I think you will have already had a temporary position, and I think you're probably going to be looking to the next one is what I would guess from that. All right, so that's from Ms. Nikki. La, da, da, da. Next up is Anne. After Anne is Diane. After Diane is Sequoia. After Sequoia is Angela. Sharon, do you want a message from Spirit today? Is this your first time in the room? I think it is. You're quite welcome. Family in Poland. They're in a position where they can be helpful if they want to. Of course, there's some people saying that that Putin isn't going to stop with the Ukraine, that he's planning on going after other countries after that. I guess we'll see. Message from Spirit for Miss Anne. Okay, so Anne, what do we have here? We have a Page of Wands showing up in reverse, followed by a Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, Page of Wands, Six of Swords. You're getting some kind of message, or you have received some kind of message maybe already from somebody basically saying that you need to do something that you're not really enthralled about doing. It's not something that makes you very happy to try to do this, or to do this, I should say. Six of Swords is telling me that whatever this is, you're going to have to go back to do it. So you're going to be going back to redo whatever this is, or else you're going to be going back to a place where you've been before to do this. But there's something here that talks about going back or going backwards to accomplish whatever this thing is that you're hearing about or finding out about. Now, best advice around your situation. Four of Wands, Ace of Wands, Seven of Wands in reverse. I think you'd rather be home, whatever this is. I think you would rather just be at home. What is I think the advice is whatever part of this you can do at home, actually go ahead and do that at home. Okay. It may be, there's something about the idea about doing it at home is a little bit more vulnerable than if you did whatever this was somewhere else. But, I think it's because you've kind of before said, I'm not going to do that at home. And Spirit's basically saying it's kind of time to let down the guard and let that happen at home. So I hope that makes sense for you. Oh, you're quite welcome. Yeah, I got a little overwhelmed myself today. So here's how this room works, Miss Sharon. We're glad you're here, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to participate in a live session like this again. I usually don't do prayers, but then we usually don't have a day like this, do we? But I do read for people, and I do Reiki for people normally. So if you want to participate in a live session like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe and click your notification bell. I also do predictions for every single sign every single day. That comes out at midnight Mountain Time here in the U.S. I'm not sure what time that'll be for you. And I put other things on the channel too, so you'll get notified about the other things too, but I don't know of any way that you would only get notified when I go live. That would be a nice little feature if they could add that, though, I think. You're quite welcome, Anne. I hope it makes sense for you. You usually get yours ahead of time, and then they make sense the next day, though. There is Cheryl. Hello, hello. Do you want a message from Spirit today, Cheryl? Oh, don't we all? For real. Where do you work out of, Sharon? What country or what state are you in? All right. Yay, yay. Cheryl, you never got a hold of me to claim your I'm the most consistent poster of comments prize. All my contact information is on my website. Get a hold of me. You thought I was going to forget, didn't you? La, da, 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 da. Diane is who I'm shuffling for right now, by the way. Diane, I hope you're still in the room. Miss Diane. What's the message for Spirit, from Spirit for Diane? Getting my pronouns. Is that pronouns, participles? What is that? I'm getting them all twisted up. It's been a long time since I've been in an English class, folks. Okay, good, good. I'm happy to hear that. Alrighty. For Diane. You've got a 3 and a 9 in your situation. 3 of Cups showing up in reverse. Oh, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. This is a messed up situation to be in, Diane. This is, all right, is this really? Okay, so Diane, it looks to me like you have a friend who, or a tribe member who commonly got on your nerves, okay? And it looks like whoever this is that commonly got on your nerves, you're missing them. That's why I say got instead of they get. You're missing them. You wish they were here. Wish you were here. Even though you make me crazy. Is that a toxic friendship or is that just a playful, goofy friendship? New Jersey. Well, you're not too far from Angela here. Angela lives New Jersey, Pennsylvania, something like that. Yeah, but this one isn't for you, Anne. The last one was for you. This is for Diane. All right, let's look at your best advice about missing this annoying friend. Best advice is 3 of Wands, followed by the 8 of Swords, followed by the 2 of Cups in reverse. What is this? 3 of Wands for me is making plans, maybe even making travel plans, but it does talk about making plans. So we're not talking about just traveling off the cuff, okay? But making some kind of plans. 8 of Swords, though. This is actually, I think you're actually making some plans to sit right where you are with that 8 of Swords. Not go anywhere. Also, you want to make some plans to do some self-work too with that 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is really mental energy. A typical tarot deck, you're going to have 8 swords in the ground, kind of penning a person in that has a blindfold on. If she took the blindfold off, she could see where she could walk between the swords. But this, to me, this is a little different. Kind of the same connotation. See how all the strings are around the person in the mirror? Like she's looking in the mirror and she's seeing all these limitations, but in real life, you can tell there's no limitations. We're looking straight down at her. No strings there, nothing on her wrists. So there is some kind of restriction that you're dealing with that you're keeping yourself in. You want to do some healing around those restrictions as well. Okay. And Two of Cups in reverse. What's going on here? This is the idea of making plans. I think it's an idea of making plans to see this person and also making plans to do some self-work so that even though this person annoys you right now, you can deactivate some of the triggers that they seem to trip off in you so that you can actually enjoy them whenever you do see them. I don't think you're going to them, though. I think they're coming to you. I think you're inviting them to come to you. And the visit is not like tomorrow or something. This is a long-term type of plan, so this would be a week or two away at the minimum, if not much more than that. But yeah, before they get to you, you want to do some self-work so that their stuff doesn't activate your triggers anymore, and you're cool with them because you miss them. Isn't that weird? Oh, there's another New Jersey person here. We've got some East Coast in the house, man. I was worried. I started later than usual. I didn't know if any East Coasties or anybody I didn't know if anybody would show up. I got to bed at almost 6 whenever I laid down after watching all the news about Ukraine. Didn't get up till like 11. I'm still feeling like it's morning to me. I'm all out of whack right now. Shannon, welcome, welcome. Oh, you changed your name again. Okay, that was Diane. Shakoya, are you still in the room? Shakoya, Shakoya. We're going to do a message from Spirit for Shakoya next. Hopefully she's still in the room. Everybody remember, piggyback messages are a thing. Woot woot, there she is. Piggyback messages are a thing, which means just because I'm not reading for you in particular doesn't mean the message might not apply to you in your life. So if you notice that it resonates, please go ahead and use that message productively in your life. However, if it is not resonating, please don't try to run over it, scrunch it, sit on it, squash it, stretch it, wash it, poke holes in it, or in any other way. Try to make it fit you. Let it go. It's somebody else's. All right. Gotcha, Shannon. You're quite welcome, Diane. Yeah, it seems like it'd be kind of miserable to miss somebody who gets on your nerves. Doing that work will probably have some pretty big payoffs for you. Shakoya, I think we're ready for you, my dear. By the way, I am using the Light Seers Tarot. Oh my goodness. No. Shakoya, you got the same cards that Anne got? You guys did see all that shuffling. Plus, there was Diane in between. Just there right side up instead of upside down for your situation. How trippy is that? Spirit, you're amazing. Okay, so you have some cards from Anne's. You also have some cards from Diane's reading. It's all blended together. You're a hybrid right now, Shakoya. Okay, let's see what's going on here. La da da da. Ooh, I like your situation. Page of Wands showing up right side up. Covered by the Six of Swords. So this tells me that you've gotten in some kind of message, or you will be if you haven't already, some kind of message about something that you're excited about, you're amped up about. You want to move forward with it. And with the Six of Swords, this just talks about moving forward. This is a message that allows you to move forward into something that is more peaceful, less chaotic, less dramatic, less toxic. Let's just say less toxic. That pretty well covers it. Okay, so you've got some kind of good news about being able to move forward into a situation that is less toxic than what you have been dealing with. Woo, woo, we like that. Now, best advice for you. Ooh, hoo, hoo, baby. Judgment card in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Two of Cups. Now this is really interesting because this is telling me, Shakoya, we've got a couple of different energies around you that are playing. And I'm guessing that we are dealing with romantic energies, but it doesn't have to be. It could be friendships or family situations as well. La da 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 da. So Judgment in reverse basically talks about that there's going to be a situation after you get this news about being able to move forward into something less dramatic and chaotic and toxic. You're going to get this offer to go back to dramatic, chaotic, and toxic. Best advice is don't do it. That's Judgment in reverse. That's not going back to something from the past. Don't do it. The past is in the past for a reason. Leave it there. Leave it there. Three of Wands in reverse. Quit trying to make plans to go back to the past. You're hoping, you're thinking, you're wishing, you're dreaming. Maybe if we try it again. Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Three of Wands. Don't make any plans like that. Don't make any plans. Don't have any plans. Don't have any expectations. This is really talking all about being in the present moment right now. Okay? First of all, leave the past in the past. Second of all, focus on now. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the future. All your power is in now. The past is gone. You can't change it. The future's not here. We can't do anything with something that's not here. Focus on the now. This is where your power is. Okay? Now, next. Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Focus on the now. Focus on the pleasant in the now. Focus on what's drawing you and what is attracting you now. Follow that happy. Remember the Fruit Loops bird used to always say, follow your nose. It always knows. Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. Follow your happy. Be in the present moment. Stay in the present moment. Follow your happy right now. Whether that happy is another person or a bowl of ice cream, doesn't matter. Good hike, good run, beautiful blouse, whatever is your happy. Follow your happy. Don't be thinking about the past. Don't be entertaining the past. Don't be trying again with the past. The past has already shown you what it can do with its present. You're quite welcome, Shakoya. La da da da. No expectations. Just enjoy the moment. Angela, you are next. After Angela is Sharon. Everybody, welcome our newbie to the room, Miss Sharon. She's never been in here before. She picked today to come in here when I was all weepy-eyed. What a great initiation, eh? All right. After Sharon will be Cheryl, and then after Cheryl will be Shannon. And I imagine I will have been here an hour by the time I get through all of those, so we're going to stop after Shannon. You guys, thanks for hanging out here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and praying with me. I appreciate that. You guys, we may not get to see each other in person, most of us, but it really does mean a lot that there's people around that are familiar and that know me well enough to not just hit the escape button when they see some tears falling. Angela, message from Spirit. Okay, Angela. Ten of Swords in reverse. And the Six of Pentacles. This is interesting because this talks to me about some type of interactions that you were having with somebody at some point that you thought were over. You thought you weren't really going to be interacting with that person in the future anymore. And so with that Ten of Swords in reverse, that says those interactions are coming back and covered by the Six of Pentacles. The other thing that card tells me, because that card kind of fed into my meaning on my Ten of Swords in reverse, to be honest. But the other thing that tells me about this is that this was somebody that you had some good and some healthy interactions with. Somebody where, you weren't the only one giving. Like there was some reciprocal energy there. So I don't know if that's already happened or if that will be happening. I don't know if you were here earlier whenever I pointed out that, like, for Anne Frode, who's here pretty often, her messages usually happen the next day. A lot of people recognize their messages already as having happened. But so I'm not sure where you are with this, Miss Angela, as far as timing. But definitely you've got some interactions coming back that are reciprocal with somebody that you thought you wouldn't be interacting with anymore. Now, best advice around those: Nine of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so Nine of Wands is telling me basically best advice is be prepared. Think about what it is that you might say to this person whenever you see them the next time. Be prepared. Don't be in a pissed off, hurt type of place. Be prepared that when you see that person, you get to have the interaction that you want to have with them. Okay? Hanged Man. Be patient. Be patient. So it probably hasn't happened yet. Or, well, I could read that it hasn't happened yet, but it will after a while, after a few days. The other way that I could read this, though, is this person is going to have some stuff to say that might be kind of disappointing or frustrating to you. And you want to be patient with them because they're coming from a different headspace on this. You may even want to try to understand their perspective with that Hanged Man coming up there, because that perspective is certainly not going to match yours whenever you run into this person again. And then the Four of Pentacles showing up in reverse talks about once you understand where this other person is coming from, then it's okay to kind of open up and share some things about yourself with this person as well. But you want to make, whenever you have this first re-interaction, you want to make understanding the other person the first priority. You shouldn't be sharing a whole lot about yourself until after you understand where this person is coming from. Okay? That's just good advice anyway. Anytime we're in a relationship with somebody, no matter how casual the relationship is. People like to talk about themselves. And if you have a nice long conversation with somebody about themselves and they did not ask you a single thing about you, you know what that person is going to leave with? What kind of impression? They are going to think you are the most fantastic person ever, because they're going to feel heard. They won't know anything about you, but they feel like you're wonderful. All right, Sharon, you're up next. Are you still in the room, Miss Sharon? La, da, 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 da. Diane, thank you for welcoming Sharon. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. I didn't learn that until I was doing multi-level marketing. I couldn't even tell you which company I was working with at that time. I have done multi-level marketing so many times because in theory, it makes perfect sense to me. I just got to get better at it where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so I'm not seeing Sharon reply back. Maybe she got a phone call or something. I'm going to scooch over to Cheryl next. And then if we hear from Sharon, she can be after Cheryl. And then we'll do Shannon's cards. Okay, so Cheryl, I'm assuming you're still in the room. Here's Cheryl. Message from Spirit for Cheryl. Hello there, BP. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Captain de una Mave Estelar. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but welcome. We're glad you've wandered your way back into the room. Okay, Cheryl, here's your message from Spirit. Oh, geez. Thank you, thank you. Ambans, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Glad you're here, glad you're here. All right, so Cheryl. I hope Cheryl's in the room for real now. Okay, so what you have showing up is the Emperor in reverse. Covered by Star card in reverse. Okay, Cheryl. Here's your situation. BP, go ahead and throw your question up into the chat. If I get to it before I go, I'll get to it. I've got about 14 more minutes left. Let's see. Emperor and the Star. And M Bonds. If you want help with something, let me know. Let me know. We've got 2 other people in front of you guys. But one of them, I'm not sure if she's left the room or not. I think she did. All right, so Emperor showing up with the Star in reverse for you, Mr. Scholl. This just means that you're dealing with somebody who has strong narcissistic tendencies. Yippee skippy. Yippee skippy. We're always so happy whenever those interactions are done, aren't we? With the Star card in reverse, this is telling me that you're feeling like these interactions are pretty rough, Cheryl. This just means that like you really don't have a lot of hope of coming out of an interaction with this person very well. All right. Here's best advice for you. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. That's interesting. Death and Rebirth card. And Temperance. 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 Cheryl, I just really feel like you can't jump through all the hoops fast enough for this person. Their expectations of what's going to make them happy changes all the time. And I just don't think you can keep up with this person. That's your first thing that comes up on your advice. That's your heads up. Like every time you talk to this person, they're going to make you feel like you forgot about something. Maybe you were never told about it, but they're going to make you feel like you forgot about it. Okay? So if you want to bring some change in this situation with that Death and Rebirth card, this is talking about to bring change in this situation. With this Temperance card, what's really hitting me on this card is the wings. It's time to pray for this person. Probably really the last thing that you actually want to do, Cheryl, is pray for this person because they look like they're really rough to interact with. But if you want to see some change in this situation, you want to really pray for this person. And you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a big fancy prayer. You know how Southerners will say, bless their hearts. It can be a simple little prayer like that. A lot of times, yes, Southerners are pretty frustrated with you when they're saying that prayer. But at least they're still praying for you. That's some Southern hospitality right there, man. They're still praying for you to be blessed, even though they're frustrated as the dickens. So it doesn't have to be anything, any big monumental prayer. It doesn't have to be a 2-minute prayer, 5-minute prayer. Lord bless them. Please bless them. But that's what's going to bring a change in that relationship is if you start praying for this person. Okay? You know, the more I think about that, the more I think that that little phrase is like the true definition of Southern hospitality. Bless his little heart. He's an ignoramus, but bless his little heart. That's what the full sentence would be if you could hear the brain. I lived in Texas for a little while. I know. Okay, I haven't heard from Sharon again, so we're going to move on to Shannon. Shannon, are you still in the room, my dear? BP wants to know about MTA work. Now, why are we asking when? Do you already know for sure that you have a position there? Okay. Right? Do you say it sometimes too? You could be setting me up for failure here, BP. Because if you don't actually get a job for them, and I'm looking for when you get a job for them, I could be looking at cards for a very long time. Because they aren't going to tell me yes on any time frame. So you don't say it. Okay, Shannon, message from Spirit. That's who we're working on here. Miss Shannon. You don't have to ask a yes or no type of question, but we do have to come to the table without making assumptions. That's funny. I definitely think we're talking about work, Shannon. Okay. Hello there, Miss Lena. I'm going to tell y'all I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be here, but I'll put you on the list. I've got about 8 more minutes left, and I think Sharon, I think we can count her as gone. I've got 2 people in front of you. Seems like I should have someone else. M did not ask me for anything yet. So I've got 2 people in front of you right now. 2 people in front of you right now. Okay, Shannon, here's your cards. Let's talk about your cards. That would be something I would feel a little bit more comfortable with. And then if we get a yes on that tonight, then the next time you see me here, if you haven't already been hired, then we can look at like a time frame. Or you could get a 1-question reading off my website and we could look at a time frame. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, so Shannon, I keep trying to show you your cards. You got the Justice card here. All right. Covered by the Knight of Swords. So Knights are just a little quickie tarot info, trivia. Knights are cards of action. They take action, okay? They're the guy that isn't the senior guy. They're still all into being all fit and having their body built up and looking great and doing stuff, where the senior guy is more about delegation, and I know how it all works now. I make good decisions now because I've got lots of experience now. The Knight may or may not make good decisions, but the Knight takes action, okay? So, and when we're looking at the Swords is all about thoughts and words. So you've got some type of mental or verbal action, okay, around justice, which I'm kind of cheating here on this one because I happen to know that Shannon works in a world that has a lot to do with legalities of things. Okay. So that really tipped me off that this has to do with her work. And this talks about her work and taking action, specifically her work in talking to, or maybe even recording, writing about, because those are words as well. Something having to do with work or with justice or with the legalities of things. Okay. So, bum, 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 bum. If anybody wants to jump to the front of the line, there is instructions how to do that in the description. La, da, da, da. Best advice, though, for you, Miss Shannon. We've got the Six of Wands showing up in reverse. Five of Swords showing up in reverse. And the Three of Swords showing up in reverse. My goodness, we've got a lot of swords going on here. And Justice could be a Libra card, which is a air sign. So that would be in the sword suit, too, if it wasn't a major. So basically, if you want to look at it that way, you've got all swords except for one. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. So for me, Five of Swords talks about keeping the peace, bringing an end to a dispute, argument, something like that. Three of Swords in reverse talks about bringing healing to a situation where people weren't getting along, and maybe they were getting their feelings hurt because they weren't getting along. Okay? Now, here's the card that I don't like, because I can see you in that role pretty easily, but the card that I don't like is right here. Six of Wands in reverse. Bringing peace to a situation and bringing healing to that situation where there's been some type of dispute whenever it comes to work is a thankless job. That's the heads up that you need to know. It's kind of a thankless job. You're not going to get a lot of accolades because of that, or attagirls, or kudos bars, or anything like that. Back when I used to work for the phone company, if you did something good and a client told the supervisor about it, they would actually have a little get together and your name would be announced in front of a bunch of people on the team. And there were these little candy bars, maybe they're still around, called Kudo. That was the brand name of those candy bars or protein bars or whatever they were. And they would literally give you a kudos bar. People liked it. Makes sense for you? Gotcha. All right, let's see. 3 more minutes. Let's do one more person. This is going to be BP. BP. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Message. Are we doing message? No, we've got a question. Is BP going to be hired? Will BP be working again for? Will BP be working for MTA, New York City Transit? Excuse me, in the near future. Got some dust in my throat. Guys, don't forget to share these videos with other people who may find them helpful. Kind of waiting to say that, aren't I? Also, don't forget to put a thumbs up if you find this beneficial. And if you would like to participate in more of these and you're not already subscribed, you want to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Blah. Do you guys remember being little kids and lining up chairs in a row and sitting in them and pretending that you were driving the bus somewhere? Baby girl, I think you should put out resumes other places. I don't know what's going to be happening here, but I don't see anything coming up for this until like maybe the second week of May. So I asked about the sitting in chairs, pretending to drive a bus, because I was thinking about that question and looking at one of these cards that came up. Does that not look like somebody sitting at the front of the bus, pretending, looking over to the side, letting somebody in the door? I mean, she's obviously doing ceremony there too, but I was just seeing the chair and the girl sitting in it. Here's the thing that I really don't like when I look at this, because my very first spread I looked at just, by the end of March. And the very first card that comes up comes up as the Queen of Wands. This tells me that you have your own side gig that you're thinking about doing, or maybe you have done for a while, and you're sort of setting it off to the side because you're so expecting this whole bus driving gig to come through and expecting the money from that. I would say if you've got something going on the side, you want to keep pumping that thing up, man. Keep pumping that thing up. Okay, I've only got one other person. Let's do Lena. Are you still here? Lena Lewis. Not that far over time. Lena Lewis. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is the best I felt all day. I was in a straight up depression over this whole Ukraine stuff earlier. Just hanging out with y'all has helped me so much. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of those situations where you're like, don't quit your day job. You can be as confident as you want, but keep the money rolling, man. There's a lot of people in Missouri that are from Russia and from the Ukraine too. I'm not really in touch with them anymore, but over the years I met quite a few. Oh, honey, I slept till 11 today. I'm probably going to be up tonight making videos. Yeah, because I'm not hearing from Lena, so let's do you. I want to call you Michelle. Is Michelle your name? Miss M. Bonds. I think I know your name. I don't think it's Michelle. I just can't remember it right now. M. Bonds. Every time I read that name, though, I think 007. After I get done thinking Michelle. I do know your name. I thought so. I might start just calling you 007. Gotcha. All right. For Ms. Marcy. And we said message from Spirit, didn't we? Yes. Ms. Marcy, message from Spirit. La da 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 da. Ooh, baby. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. is going on here? Okay. Let's show you your situation. Got the 5 of Wands showing up in reverse. Covered by the Ace of Cups. So this is talking about some type of love situation, whether it's romantic or not. And I think it might be. This could be a situation. This could go a couple of ways. I'm just feeling around. I feel like there's somebody in your sphere of influence who is letting go of any kind of competition in a love situation with you. So basically, maybe they were considering you and considering another person or some other people. They've decided, nah, I think I want to focus all the way on Marcy right now. Okay, so they've made that choice to let the competition go, focus on Marcy, get to know her a little better. All right, best advice for you around this. Page of Cups. 4 of Wands in reverse. Knight of Cups. Get the Page and the Knight. But that 4 of Wands in reverse, that's kind of a tricky card to have right between that. Absence makes the heart grow fonder is what Spirit is saying. Okay, so let's look at technicalities here. Page of Cups, some kind of message from somebody letting you know how much they care about you. Okay? Could be a love letter, love message. Hey, I love you, babe, as they walk out the door. 4 of Wands in reverse, though, that's the sticky one. It talks about some type of separation. But that separation is just temporary. So it could be that either you or the other person is going to be away from each other. So if you work together, maybe one of you has a vacation. Or if you live together, maybe one of you is going to be moving out for a while. Maybe one's traveling for business or whatever, who knows. But there's some type of distance between the two of you. With the 2 cards that are sandwiching it, I'm going to say this is physical distance. I'm going to say I don't think it's going to be emotional distance. This card could be that, but I don't think it's going to be with these 2 right next to it. So some type of distance happening. It's a temporary distance. Whoever is going away is coming back, okay? Whether you guys know that or not, but I think you do. And when I was trying to figure out why is this card in the middle of that, that's when Spirit was like, absence makes the heart grow fonder, because we definitely have an upgrade when we go from a Page of Pentacles. That's kind of dreamy. We have the when pigs fly with the pig flying type of energy there. That's just saying things. Not really a lot of action behind saying things. But then we upgrade to the Knight of Cups. And what did I tell you guys earlier about the Knights? The Knights are cards of action. They do things. They may not make the best decisions, but they have no problem acting on them. They're out there doing something romantic. So you've got somebody really who they are setting aside anybody else that they might have been dating, and they are really focusing on you. They want to get to know you better. And really, we see somebody falling in love with you, and even their time away from you doesn't impede that. In fact, it amps up that sense of being in love with you, because, you know, they have a chance to miss you, and then they realize how important you are. How do you like that? That's a really nice message to end the night on. And if it's not romantic, I could also see it as being like a son that goes away somewhere, and then they're like, man, my mom cooks the best bacon and eggs. And they really appreciate you when they get back. Either way, it's a nice reading, though. Thank you guys, all of you, very much for being here today. Thank you for all the thumbs ups, for sharing this video with other people who may benefit from it. And of course, thank you for putting up with my teary-eyed silliness earlier. Thank you guys for praying with me. Those of you who are early enough to pray with me, I do appreciate that so much. And I will see you guys back on the next video. Peace out.